I've found that the longer I remain a wrestling fan, the ability some performers have to adapt and evolve to the times is a key to their success. However, today we're looking at all the worst wrestler evolutions. Where else could we start but the king of evolution in wrestling, Chris Jericho? Chris Jericho was an absolute first ballot Hall of Famer. However, I feel like he's delved so deep into the fact that he's been praised for years now for his skill of changing characters that his gimmick is literally just that he evolves every few months. I never thought I'd see the day that Y2J got X-Pac heat in wrestling. This dude was just stinking up AEW after the Labors of Jericho angle ended with MJF. And it pisses me off because he's one of my all-time favorites, and there's little pieces of greatness still in there when he's on TV. But he's just so stuck up his own ass that he just can't get out of his own way. Okay, so now that I've gotten that out of my system, how about Kane? Yeah, Kane was watered down after his world title feud with Stone Cold and never really recovered to me. He was just this overarching, chaotic, evil freak that loomed over the Raw shows for months trying to get to The Undertaker. Then he was Vince's corporate mercenary to get the WWF title back under control, and it was awesome. But after all that, it all just went to shit, and we got that stupid cahoots angle with The Undertaker where it was like will they, weren't they collusion for months that sucked. We got a little tag run with X-Pac that was alright, a meandering 1999 and 2000, and just a really gradual flanderization of him to the point where they took his fucking mask off and retconned his entire backstory. What a joke. Talk about jokes though. I mean, how about Kerwin White? Yeah, they did Chavo Guerrero super dirty here. I know we were in a less progressive time in the US, but how do you take a guy whose sole purpose of being on the wrestling show is to spotlight his family heritage, the Guerrero name, and take that away from him in favor of a racist gimmick that never got over? This next one I feel will be a pretty common consensus. John Cena's gradual shift towards Disney Channel humor made me sick as a kid. And I mean, I watched it happen in real time. The guy screaming about bologna, fudge, and mustard is not the same demon I saw kick the shit out of Edge and Triple H back in the day. This ain't the same guy I saw beat JBL within an inch of his life. This ain't even the doctor of Thugonomics. Regardless, I totally understand that he was working within parameters because they cleaned up the show and made it PG so that Linda McMahon can run for Senate. But man, why did they take away any and all shades of grit that his character had left? I feel like they funneled all of his badass energy and just gave it to Randy Orton. This is a brief mention here, but I hated Nikki ASH. It was such a huge departure from what her character was in the past that I just couldn't get into it. She looked like such a dork, and I understand that that's the gimmick, but I just genuinely can't watch wrestling with people if she was on the TV. I saw her as tag team champions with Rhea Ripley one time, and I just couldn't compute what I'm seeing. I never really liked her Nikki Cross character either though, to be honest. She was a fine wrestler, I just hate her overacting. We're dipping into the PG era well again here for Sheamus's evolution from general asshole looking for fights into the Great White. I wasn't really a Sheamus guy until he started scrapping with Walter, but I can still appreciate that he was quite literally just a ridiculous looking Irish dickhead that beat people up for fun in his initial character. Fast forward to his SmackDown run though, and he's just a giant corporate geek. He just felt so manufactured. He robbed Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and the only thing that made his Big Show feud work was that Big Show was actually trying to have good wrestling matches. Walter's change to Gunther has always pissed me off as well. It's like the perfect name for him. He was established as Walter. The crowd literally chanted and sang his song to him. It was great, and I still call him Walter. I just don't like that they felt the need to fix something that wasn't broken. If you're a Deadlock boy just like me, you know all about Ball Licker Abyss in 2010. In the words of Just Blaze, this guy was a bulldozer with a wrecking ball attached. I fucking loved Abyss as a kid. His wrestling matches were just awesome. He was like Kane if he had a backbone to him and some good knees. But no, tell me why Hogan comes in, and his first MO is to turn Abyss into a total fucking pussy and try to get himself, Hulk Hogan, over by proxy by giving Abyss the rub. This shit sucks so hard.
I got an idea for you, brother. How about you suck my cock the long way? The long way.
Chad Gable. You've been through so much and you'll never know peace. Shorty G was an abortion of a gimmick in wrestling. One of the biggest slaps in the face I've ever gotten as an optimistic wrestling fan. I watched this guy since American Alpha. I long for the days of Jason Jordan. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm glad that he's getting a decent spot now, but truthfully, the fact that he's still employed in WWE after withstanding that shit is a testament to his talent. Our final wrestler evolution today is an oddball pick for sure. I remember Dolph Ziggler's run on top of SmackDown in the beginning of 2011 with Edge and Vicky. I think this still holds up really well. I don't know, man, for once it just felt like they were actually trying to make somebody important and push a new guy. When Dolph Ziggler won the world title only to be immediately switched back to Edge though, I was gutted. I watched that as a kid and the whole little month or two storyline they did was pretty sweet. I just don't know what the fuck they were smoking when they came up with Why? Why change anything here?
Why? Tell me why!
It was working. He stood out with his old blonde hair. And at this point, he just looked like another guy. And they booked him like just another guy. They paired him up with Jack Swagger, and they made the fast forward button on my DVR a necessity when I watched Raw back in the day. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. This was a lot of fun to go back and reminisce. Take it easy.